Okay, this is a little bit new. Haven't seen anything like this before. Looks like a bit of a building. Ooh, okay, looks like we've definitely got something going on there in front of us. Okay, something definitely isn't right here. What on earth was that sound? Okay, I think we're getting out of here now. Let's yeah, let's go home, shall we? Okay, here's the first part of that weather storm that's currently about to hit us right now. Oh god. Yep. Oh, we're feeling it now. I think, yep, the eye of the storm, and it's kind of threatening to push our vehicle over. This storm is really gonna tip the vehicle. Oh, there goes the hood. There goes the hood. That's not good. No, this is not looking good. I don't want this vehicle to tip over. We need to get out of this storm, whatever we do. Oh no! Close your eyes. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to those of you who have recently subscribed, and those new to the channel as well. Always great to have you aboard. And have I got a treat for you today? I thought I'd take a little look at something a little bit different today. This is Pacific Drive, and it was only just recently released on PS5 and PC platforms. Now this is something a little bit different than what I normally cover on the channel, in that it's not specifically a simulator as such. It's got quite a bit of sci-fi element to the game, but it's still very heavily focused on vehicular mechanics and driving and all that kind of stuff, and that's what's kind of brought me into the game as well. And for the most part, there's no real combat in the game either, so there's no guns and knives and things like that. So it really is just about driving, exploring, and surviving. And if you look at the Steam page, the store page for this game, link below, you'll see that it's basically all about surviving. It's basically a driving survival adventure, as the developer describes it. It's all about kind of scavenging resources, loading up your trusty station wagon, which is what we're looking at right here. And this is basically what my station wagon looks like right now in the game. So this is the garage that we are located in at the moment as well. And so basically the whole premise of this game, as I've kind of mentioned already just now, is to survive. So the base of operations is where we are at the moment. This is our garage. And in between missions, I guess you could say, this is where you end up with your vehicle to kind of recuperate and restore, repair, and all that sort of thing before heading off on your next mission. Okay, so I'm a few missions in within the game at the moment, so this is not the beginning of the game kind of thing. At least it's not the very beginning of the game, but I just thought I'd cover this as more of a first look, as I mentioned, just to give you a bit of a taste as to how the game plays. So there's heaps of videos out there on this game, and I'm not going to pretend to do a full-on review of it. I'm just doing a bit of a first look to give you a bit of a taster of what this game is all about today. Within the vehicle here, you can see there's quite a few little sci-fi elements. There's all these little gadgets and things like that, but they've obviously retained a lot of the feel as well. So you can see there's a V8 engine under the hood. You've got these classic hubcap and tires as well, and just that classic look. This is obviously a 1980s family station wagon, and we are stuck here in basically a government kind of cordoned off zone. It's basically a walled area, okay? And the government's been doing a whole bunch of experiments within this zone. And yeah, basically we've ended up in here. We're just a lowly delivery driver, and we've unfortunately been kind of teleported inside the walls, as it were. And you can kind of see those walls as well in just a moment. Actually, there they are right there. You can kind of see the outer perimeter walls of this whole zone. Okay, so basically the whole premise of the game is that you're stuck within this supernatural kind of zone, this whole kind of walled off area, and it's referred to as the Olympic exclusion zone. Okay, so, and you're stuck here with your lowly old little station wagon here, which you will have to upgrade and repair and just keep on repairing, I guess, as you go through. And you've got access to a whole slew of settings within the game as well, and it's just worth going through a few of these just quickly as well. There's a whole bunch of realism settings which you can toggle on or off. I've got most of the realism related stuff turned on, obviously, just being the way I am. But some of the more kind of sci-fi elements, like the storms, instability storms and gateway storms, I've kind of toned them down a little bit. And by turned them down, I mean I've turned them off completely. So I've disabled those at least in the settings, and you can see them right here. And that basically gives you more of a cozy or casual playing experience where you can actually explore the maps a little bit better without being chased off the maps by all these crazy severe storms that come through and basically consume the entire map around you and actually kill you as well if you're still around at that point. So I've turned off that aspect of the game so that we can explore a little bit more, and hopefully you'll enjoy that today as we go through this video. So what I'm going to do right now, well, shortly, is we're going to go ahead and just restore this vehicle and repair it a little bit, because I've just come back from a mission. And then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and view the map right here, and we'll go on another little quick adventure and go off to another little part of the zone. And so here's the actual map itself. You can see that you've got all these little zones that you can visit. So it's not a fully open world kind of game. You kind of just hop from zone to zone, and you're fast traveling in between to get to each zone. You got the garage down here. Obviously it wants me to go up northeast on my next mission, but I'm not going to do that today. Today what I'm going to do is probably go off to the left, and you can see up here the center of the map. I haven't even unlocked that region of the map yet. That's where I imagine all the instability gets even worse, and the zones are a lot more volatile, I guess, within those areas. So right now we're kind of on the perimeter wall kind of area of the map, I guess, if you look at the garage icon there. But we'll go ahead and we'll go to that little G8 section, I guess, today. Now, I've actually been there before, but the cool thing that this game does is it randomly regenerates every zone when you revisit it, okay? So that could mean things like houses and anomalies and things like that. And just the layout of the zone is completely different, okay, from what you experienced before. So that little section right there that I've just highlighted, that's the next mission that it wants me to go on. But I'm not going to do that today, just to keep things nice and easy. I'm just going to revisit this G8 little zone down here, like I mentioned just before. And there's a few little hop-off points from there that we could keep going to if we really wanted to, but I haven't quite been there yet. You can see there's a few question marks around those. But yes, there's a whole mechanic to how you kind of travel between zones and how you find your way back to your garage as well. So your garage is basically here on the map, you can see there. So we can just fast travel to G8. But for example, if we want to come back to the garage, you can see there that beside each of these zones, there's a blue number. See that? It says 2 for that one and 2. So what this basically means is when you're in that zone, if you want to fast travel back to the garage, you need to capture 2 stability anchors, which are like these glowing energy orbs, okay? And you need to feed them into the car, into the module that's on the passenger seat actually. And then once you've done that, only then can you open the portal to travel back to your garage, okay? And that's where those instability storms and all that normally get quite crazy on the default settings. But like I said, I've turned off a few of those, and we should have a fairly trouble-free run today, just so that you can kind of see what the maps are like and all that kind of thing. So we'll get into more about how those orbs and how those portals and things work in just a moment. But for the moment, I'll just show you a little bit more around the garage while we're here. This is the fabrication station. So there is heaps of crafting that you can do in this game, heaps of crafting trees. This fabrication station allows you to unlock the blueprints that then allow you to craft certain items. Within those categories, you've got a whole tree of upgrades for a certain thing. So you've got like engine category, you've got, for example, the garage category there, and you can, you know, obviously, I can construct this matter deconstructor here, which allows you to recycle components easier. Anything in yellow is basically what's available to upgrade to next, and anything red is obviously locked. Okay, so for the engine category, you can go to this turbo light engine. You can go to a chipped engine as well, which gives you 300 horsepower. Or you can go to this really crazy amplified magnetic propulsion engine. So very much sci-fi elements obviously making its way through here as well. Now the other major component, I guess, that should be upgraded on the vehicle ASAP is the tires. Because by default you get these rather crappy summer tires, I guess, on the vehicle. And they're really not good once you leave the pavement, once you leave the bitumen. So once you start going into mud and dirt and all that kind of thing, you really want an off-road tire and even an all-terrain tire. Okay, so yeah, those tires obviously will give you a much better chance at navigating and surviving out there in the wilderness. Because if we come and have a look at these tires, you can see here that we've just got some pretty crappy summer tires on here at the moment. And once you get into some rain and some mud, these things are pretty useless as well, especially being that this thing is rear-wheel drive. And I must say they've done a pretty good job with the vehicle of physics as well as you drive this thing around. you can definitely feel that it's rear-wheel drive, because when you accelerate, and if you're on slippery ground, you can actually feel the back of the car start to drift and kind of fishtail on you and all that kind of stuff. So you can see there I've just highlighted the summer tire, and you can get all these little stats on it. You can see the health, I guess, of it. You can remove it, you can inspect it further, and there's all sorts of things you can do to it. I can rip this tire off, for example, now if I wanted to, and I could replace it with a different tire or a spare tire. You can get flat tires as well. Don't have any flat tires, thankfully, at the moment. We'll see if we get any today, but hopefully not. You can craft a patch kit to fix up your tires. The reason why I'm focused on the tires right now is those are one of the most important parts of the car. They are what connects you with terra firma, basically, and it does get pretty terrifying out there, especially when it's nighttime and you've got all sorts of weather conditions and mud, and you're trying to navigate through the dark, and you might be trying to get up a hill as well, and the rain's just pouring down, and you're struggling for traction, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, let's go ahead and look at a few other things. So in the back of the vehicle, we've got this little crafting mat. Okay, now this is the same thing as the workbench in the garage as well, and you can use this while you're in a zone, while you're out in the field, as it were, and you can craft things as long as you've got the scrap components to do so. Okay, and obviously to unlock the components to craft, this is what you use here. So the fabricator, if I want to obviously fabricate armored panels, I need to unlock the blueprints here in the fabricator first. Then with the blueprints in hand, you can either go to the workshop bench in the garage or the crafting mat in the back of the car, and then craft it from there. As you can see here, there's a huge amount of trees here, like upgrade trees you can do. You can get armored panels, steel panels, and those orbs that you collect in order to portal back to your garage, if you have any extra energy, that gets stored here in this machine as well. You can see the stable energy, and then that gets used towards unlocking these blueprints as well. Okay, so this is the actual workbench that while you're in the garage you can craft things, and this is the equivalent of the little mat that's in the back of the vehicle that you can craft on the fly as well. I'm just looking at one of the little transfer trunks here. So you get these little cabinets and trunks where you can store things. Very Fallout-esque, I guess, in a way. And this game kind of does remind me of Fallout in a lot of ways with the crafting and scavenging aspects. You can see here that I'm just going ahead and I'm trying to just kind of scrap a few bits and pieces here. There's a junked out car just outside the garage, and I'm just obviously completely scrapping the door there and taking some of the scrap metal and things like that. And you can obviously do a lot of this out in the world as well, and that's one of the big parts of playing this game, to try and pick up as much trash as you can and bring it back with you to the garage, so that then you can craft better things and upgrade your vehicle. Now it's 5:21 right now, 5:21 p.m, so I think it's a little bit late, unfortunately, to head out outside. So what I might do is I might just spend a bit more time in here. I think we've got quite a few things to kind of sort with the vehicle. You can see there that we kind of need to fill the petrol tank there, the gas tank, charge the battery up. So we've got a damaged windscreen. One of our tires is in red, the others are in yellow. You can see there that the overall condition of the vehicle is caution. Okay, so before we head out, it's always a good idea to just get the vehicle into tip-top shape as much as you can. Now, I'm not sure if you just heard that, but when I closed the trunk, the horn went off. Okay, now that is known as a quirk, and there are heaps of different quirks that can plague this poor old little station wagon. And the way to fix those is to come into this little diagnostic computer, and this is what's really cool as well. You can actually come in here and try and troubleshoot the issue. So for example, I could go horn is honked, trunk closes, and then we can try and see if we can try and diagnose why the horn keeps going off while the trunk closes. Oh, no, bad guess. Actually, I think I've done that the wrong way. I think I need to change this statement around so it's the other way around. So it's trunk closes, hood is honked kind of thing. But I'll do that in a little bit. We'll come back to this in just a moment. We'll go out there first, out to the zone, and have a bit of a look around. And then we'll come back and we'll sort this out. You can see there, it's not actually doing it all the time either when I open and close the trunk. It's only sometimes, but yeah. Anyway, we'll sort that out a little bit later. Let's focus on getting this vehicle, I think, prepped for the venture out into the zone. So the first thing I like to do is just make sure that these panels, yeah, there we go, you can just hear it there. Right, so first thing I like to do is just focus on these panels and the glass. You can see here the glass is kind of broken from last time. Also, what we can do actually, might as well just go ahead and fill up the gas tank first. We'll get this out of the way, then we'll focus on repairing some of these panels up. Okay, so we'll just put this fuel nozzle back now that the gas tank's nice and full. Within the back of the vehicle, you've got these cardboard boxes here on the right hand side, they're represented, and you can actually, you've got this inventory system for the cardboard boxes, and then on the left hand side you've got the backpack. Okay, so you can see I've got obviously a spare canister of fuel here, which is very handy. You can see here my backpack on the left, so I can move things between my backpack, which I'm holding, and my hands, which I've just put a pry bar in my hands, as you can see, and the boxes in the back of the vehicle. Okay, so that's basically how the storage works. There we go, it's just honked again. That Quirk is really going to get to me, I just know it, but I'll sort that out once we return from our journey in just a moment. Okay, so yeah, we've filled up the gas. We've got a full tank as well, a full gas tank. What I'm going to do now is I just wanted to go and have a look at the condition of these panels. Now, to repair the panels as well, one thing we do need is we need a putty kit. So we've got a repair putty kit here. I might just move that to my hands actually. And the putty repair kit can be used to quite ungracefully and unceremoniously kind of slap some putty on the panels of the vehicle. So there we go, there's that panel, and we can see the condition of the crude panel there. These are mostly crude panels except for the driver's door here, which is a steel door. So this is what the vehicle would look like if the whole if all the panels were steel. Okay, but the majority are crude panels, which is why you've got masking tape on them. So hopefully I can upgrade to steel panels everywhere, not just the driver's door in the future. So we'll have this nice wood grain look for the station wagon eventually. So yeah, that will happen soon, I'm sure. So at the workbench here, we can see here we can craft some crude panels, and we can see that we need a certain amount of scrap material to do that, which we do have. And I'm just going to go ahead and craft one crude panel now, because I just want to put one on the front left hand side of the vehicle. You can see there that impact resistance on this crude panel is quite low. It's basically the bottom of the barrel kind of strength when it comes to paneling, but it's better than not having anything at all on the vehicle. It's worth mentioning as well, if you're missing panels and doors, your radiation resistance whilst you're in the vehicle is going to be very low. Okay, so it's best to venture out with all your doors attached and panels attached. And I'm just repairing the wheel rims here using putty as well, quite unceremoniously, as you can see. So yeah, these tires really do take a pounding, and these wheels as well. Like the wheel rims themselves are the ones here that I'm focusing on repairing. And you can see there that the spare tire, that it's like halfway damaged basically. I've just run out of putty actually, so I can't do the front right wheel, which is a shame, but we'll leave that for now. And so yeah, we've done basically all the panels, we've fixed up majority of the wheels. And what I will do here, yep, repair putty, the sealing kit as well, which is very interesting. You can use that to repair punctures and things like that. So I think I had a sealing kit around here actually, and I think it might be in the back of the vehicle. The reason why I want the sealing kit is because I want to just repair the driver's glass or the windscreen. What I've just done there as well is just administered some first aid just before we leave as well. Always good to get your health back. Just looking for that. There it is, the sealing kit. Okay, so the sealing kit, we'll grab this as well, and we'll move that up to our hands. Okay. Now this sealing kit allows you to fix up cracks in the glass, as well as fix up punctures as well. So if you get a flat tire, you can fix that out in the field or here in the garage. Okay, so if you've got some sealing kits, you can, I've actually just used up my sealing kit now, so I can't fix the driver's window. But you can see there, repair car is now 92%, and we are now safe, okay? And you can see there that we've got a full tank of gas. Our battery just needs a bit of a charge, but it says safe, so it's no longer caution, okay? So if we head out into the zone now, we're not going to have any issues as such. The flashing yellow there is just telling me the tailgate's open, but we've got a front bumper and front right wheel slightly worn out there, but not the end of the world. I've got these crude headlights on here. And you can basically just scan each of the components like I've just done there as well, and that'll give you a bit of a rundown as to what's wrong. Your bulbs can blow, you can craft new bulbs. I'm just going to charge the battery, here we go. Okay, so that charges the vehicle's battery. I'm not sure why the alternator is not working, but anyway. So yeah, you can see here the vehicle's condition is looking way better now. You can see it's all in blue for the most part. That quirks at the bottom right, that just means that the vehicle has some quirks at the moment, which we can resolve if we want to, which I will do afterwards. But for the moment, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my course to the sector G8, like that. And as soon as you do that, you can hear the garage door opening in front of us as well. So there it is there. So, yep, garage door's open. Now, right now, we can hop inside if we wanted to, and we can drive off into the old yonder, okay? But I don't want to do that. There's that quirk again, which I will sort out once we get back, I promise you. But yes, in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to pass the time a little bit because it's a little bit late, and I don't really want to be driving in the night time because there's really not much to see out there, even with the headlights on. And it's obviously quite a bit eerie as well, but yeah, it's just more from a visibility aspect. There's not much to see at night time. So I'm just going to craft up a new scrapper, and that's a machine that allows you to basically grind away and get scrap off vehicles and stuff like that out there. So everything wears out. So my old scrapper was wearing out. That's why I crafted a new one. But what I'll do now is I'll just pass the time, and then we'll make our way out early in the morning. What I just wanted to quickly show as well is whilst we wait for morning is that we do have access to what's called a friendly dumpster, okay? And if we go to that dumpster, it's just outside the garage here. It can give us a random amount of junk, like, you know, duct tape or scrap metal or whatever it may be. And apologies, it's a bit dark here, it's a bit hard to see, but if you go ahead and interact with this, sometimes it won't give you anything if you've already taken something from it recently. But generally, at the end of every mission, when you come back, it'll reset, and then it'll give you something completely random here. It's just giving me some scrap metal this time. But sometimes it'll give you duct tape, it might give you chemicals, it might give you rubber, whatever it may be. It'll just completely randomly give you stuff. So it's just handy to have access to something like that. And then you can just go ahead and chuck it in your trunk here, or in the car, or in the garage trunk kind of thing, or within a locker, wherever you may want to put it. And then you've got it, and you can use that junk to help you craft stuff. I couldn't let this go without showing just what the weather effects look like as well, just while we wait for daylight. You can see here that there's a storm that's kind of kicked in now, and it's really blowing a gale right now, and you can see all these leaves and sticks and everything being blown everywhere, kind of blown into the garage as well there. It's a shame we can't actually close the garage doors manually, but I've heard that that might actually be on the developers' to-do list to actually implement in an upcoming update soon. Okay folks, finally it's well, it's 5:28 in the morning now, or pretty much 5:30 in the morning. So I figure it's probably time for us to get moving. So what I'm going to do is, yeah, just messing around with a few little bits and pieces here. I want to just move some of this junk from my backpack into the cardboard boxes in the back of the vehicle. Now some might argue that actually what we should be doing is, before we venture out, we should have nothing in the cardboard boxes. We should have nothing in the cardboard boxes because that will allow us to loot further, but we'll see how we go. Okay, so this is also the painting station right there, which I haven't unlocked yet. That will allow you to actually paint the vehicle and put decals on it. People have done all sorts of cool paint jobs. They've put like a dark theme with some white decals and stuff like that on their vehicles, so really looking forward to doing that actually. But yes, for the moment, let's make our way over to G8. Okay, we'll set our route. Okay, so we've got that all ready to go here, and we're gonna, it's basically a 3-hour journey, okay, into Backroads, as it's called here, within damp forest. Okay, we've been there before, but because of the random nature of the game, and how the instability of the zone, things get moved around by all the supernatural forces, so all the houses and stuff will be somewhere different. Right, so we've got here an abilities panel within the game, within the car, sorry, and you can see I've unlocked a handbrake, okay? There's another 3 abilities I can actually put in here as far as I understand. The left control key activates the handbrake, and there's 3 other abilities I can actually add in. So we've got here a whole bunch of little things. There's a radiation indicator here, we've got the vehicle health indicator here as well. So if that drops too low, then you're in trouble kind of thing. Actually, it's not too bad right now. And obviously we've got our center little panel here, which kind of mimics what's in the garage already and what we've already seen so far. And then obviously got on the right hand side here the little sci-fi kind of machine, I guess. I forget the exact name of it, unfortunately, but there's quite a bit of lore in this game, and you do interact with some characters. You might actually hear one of them soon, Oppie, who is the lady that's kind of built this thing. And yeah, that allows you to basically navigate. Now here you've got the ignition key, so we'll just go ahead and start her up. And obviously you've got here the wipers and the headlights as well. So all of these are manually controlled, which is nice. And you've got here your battery indicator as well. So there's no alternator as such to charge the battery, so battery will run out as well. Right, let's start her up. Okay, you do have to hold the key down as well, which is cool. There is a fuel gauge here and a speedometer. I've taken it up to around 60 miles an hour here and there, every now and again. But yeah, for the most part, you're just kind of creeping and crawling, as you'll see just in a moment as well. Just stick her into drive now. Actually, just put it into park there. And if I rev the engine, you can see that's the tachometer there with those bars, those colored bars. See that? Okay, so it's worth mentioning, always put it into park when you stop the vehicle. Okay, it seems like such a trivial thing, but if you don't, if you turn the car off, leave it in drive, and walk away, it can roll away from you, and then you won't be able to find your car, or it'll be rolling down the hill somewhere, or rolling down a cliff. So yeah, alright, so we're making our way along the road now to the gateway, I guess, which will leave our garage area of the map. And then from there we'll be able to fast travel to the next zone. Okay, so we've picked the region already before leaving the garage, and that's going to cut to the screen now to allow us to basically confirm that. So you can see here we've got G8 selected. Okay, we're not going to go up here, that's where it wants us to go next, but yeah, we'll go over to G8 just for the purpose of this video. Just have a bit of a quick look. It's going to take 3 hours, so by the time we get there it's going to be 9 AM basically. So that's why I've kind of left at 6 AM, just to give us a nice amount of time to get there, and it won't be too late. Right, so here we are, backroads, remote damp forest in the outer zone. Okay, so this is the outer zone. We're nowhere near the center of the map here, so this is a fairly stable region of the map. This is one of the earlier zones that you kind of visit in the beginning of the map. So as you can see here, there's not too much going on the old map. But even having said that, there's not much roads in the center of the map that kind of link up either. So that should be interesting.
Oh, and about those anomalies, I don't recommend you spend much time around them. Unless you've got a death wish, in which case, be my guest. When we're all dead and gone, and limb technology but a footnote in the history books, the anomalies will remain. They're the legacy of our work here, and the Olympic Peninsula belongs to them now.
Okay, so you're starting to get a bit of a feel for the eeriness of this place, and you can see here there's these mannequins, which are known as tourists, okay, and there's a whole bunch of lore behind them as well. And you can actually scan a lot of these anomalies as well, like Oppie was referring to just there. It's a good idea not to get too close to some of these things, as you can tell. Like you can see the radiation is going up at the top left bar, just under my health there. You can see it's at 2.5k, so this is actually going to be eating away at my health. So really not recommended to stay too close to these things if you can help it. And just, yeah, the sight of those mannequins as well, those tourists as they're called, that's kind of eerie as well. But yeah, for the most part, there's not a lot here that can really harm you if you're careful, but you can really make some stupid mistakes as well. And yeah, you can find yourself in trouble if you're not wary. But like I said, there's no real enemies or moving creatures and things like that. At least as yet that I know about. There are some mentions of things in the game which I've heard so far, but you can see here I just found the diary entry after I scanned one of the tourists there, and it's just talking about someone who came across these mannequins, and then how he's very quickly going to move on to a different job, and then at the end of his entry he's like, oh god, there's one of them outside, and I know for a fact it wasn't there just before. So yeah, the sooner we can kind of get out of this area as well, I think the more comfortable I will be. But yes, I'm just collecting some scrap metal here from one of these vehicles, and there's vehicles all over the place. I really don't like being right here right now, just amongst all of these tourists. It really is an eerie feeling. Let's go back into the old station wagon. I'm just going to load this thing up with the junk that we just managed to capture. Because it's not a good idea to keep everything in your backpack, because your backpack can get overwhelmed quite quickly. Ah, there's the old Quirk. The old station wagon. Alright. Come on. Let's get this thing moving. Yeah, you can see there the radiation indicator was jumping up and down, and you really shouldn't get out of the vehicle when it's doing that unless you've got some sort of radiation protection, which I have none of right now. And I'm sure you can actually get lead cladding for the vehicle as well to help guard against radiation and all that kind of stuff. But generally, being inside your vehicle is the safest place to be in these places, and really the game encourages you. You can see there it says stable, but yeah, this is quite a stable zone, as you can see, and I chose this on purpose just so that we can have a bit of a leisurely look around today with minimal issues. But yeah, what I was going to say is the game encourages you to stay close to your vehicle, because the further away you are, the more trouble you can get into, and really the vehicle is your safest place. There we go, there's another anomaly right there. That is called a left-right, I believe. And there's a bit of a story behind that one. If I get close enough to kind of scan it, we'll be able to see, get a bit of a backstory on it. So just holding down the C key, I can scan that. And there we've got a diary entry, which I'm not going to go through in too much detail, but basically saying someone encountered one of these things and then got thrown off the road in their vehicle and then ran into a house full of squatters. And looks like they're making fun of Canadians here as well. There's a few jokes and things like that in there. So yeah, there's a lot of lore here to be found if you just take the time to scan things. And I must say, this game really runs beautifully. I do have a GTX 3070 at the time of this video, but I am running on a lowly i7 2700K. So I'm running on an absolutely ancient CPU, and I've got pretty much everything at ultra graphics wise. I can't quite remember what my shadows are at, but apparently people have been saying the shadows are the ones that make the biggest difference to the performance of the game. But yeah, everything else is on ultra, and you can see that this thing is just running like butter for the most part. So I'm really happy with that. I really need to upgrade my CPU soon, but I think the graphics card is doing most of the heavy lifting here. So onwards we go. Ooh, okay, so it looks like we've got a storm approaching. Okay, so this is like a weather storm, and it's not going to do too much damage if we do hang around, but we can see that we are mostly towards the top of the map. Now I just want to explain a little bit about how we can get out of the map. Right, so the blue marker is where we're at right now. We can see that there's no roads where we are, so we're just going to have to keep on going through the wilderness here. There's a bit of a hill over here, so we'll just keep on going. There's some buildings out here. We can probably do some looting potentially. And then you can see this is the exit part of the map, but obviously the exit roads, according to the legend here, these are the exit roads that are currently closed. So if we wanted to leave this map and go back to the garage, what we'd have to do is travel to here, which is one anchor point. Okay, see, that's an anchor signal, and then pick up that glowing energy orb and then leave. Now we've also got this exit road as well. Some maps or some zones will have an exit road. You can just continue driving right on through and no one's going to ask you any questions, okay? But not every zone has that, okay? So if you're in a zone where all the roads are closed off, the only way to get back basically to your garage is to grab an orb from one of these circles, these yellow circles. And then once you do that, that's going to open a portal up, okay, on the map. Then you drive to that portal and then you'll be teleported back to your garage, okay? Now during that time when you open the portal, that's when all the storms and stuff normally appear on the map, but I haven't got that enabled right now. At least you can see there's the energy anchor, and there's the gateway out of the map as well. if we wanted to just continue driving out of here. It's currently available, but we're not going to do that. We're actually going to take the gateway anchor, I guess. Well, I'll explain it a little bit more in just a moment anyway. So we'll just head towards that yellow dot, okay, on the map. And we can see here there's some more anomalies. That looks like a abductor over there. That thing has a little magnetic kind of, I guess, hook on it. And that will grab onto your vehicle and try and pull you around as well. I've actually had experience with that. And it's a little bit unnerving, but not the end of the world, that one. Like I said, this is still a very stable kind of zone or region of the map. So this is a very, very calm compared to what you could encounter in this game, for sure. Okay. So basically, the game is just about obviously trying to stay alive as you navigate these zones. And you can see there's a few more mannequins out there. How unsettling. Well, you can see the cars rolling back there as I get off the gas. Yep, okay, here's the first part of that weather storm that's currently about to hit us right now. Oh, God. Yep. Oh, we're feeling it now. I think, yep, the eye of the storm. And it's kind of threatening to push our vehicle over. Oof, okay. Yep. I think I'm going to try and turn because this... Whoa! Okay. Yep. Nope. This storm is really going to... It's going to tip the vehicle. Oh, there goes the hood. There goes the hood. That's not good. No. This is not looking good. I'm going to try and turn this thing so that it's kind of facing parallel or kind of not sideways onto the storm, if that makes sense. So that it kind of... Yeah, it's not going to try and tip our vehicle over. If anything, it's just going to try and push it forward. Okay, alright, just gonna have to weather this storm, folks. This is still quite tame in comparison, and you can see here it's actually stable according to the old map indicator there. So this is just a bit of a tame weather storm. This is not like a high intensity, like instability storm that you can get that will quite literally chew the map up all around you and then threaten to kill you as well if you hang around. So. Alright, let's start crawling forward a little bit here. I just want to let's try and get out of this storm actually, because this is starting to get a little bit crazy right now. I don't want this vehicle to tip over. We need to get out of this storm whatever we do, because I think the less we tempt fate the better right now. Oh no! That was too close for comfort, that one. We almost lost it. Almost went over. Okay. Alright. Well, the storm is passing. Almost gone. Okay, I think we can probably... Just in the interest of wrapping the video up, I think it's probably time to get out of here and make our way back to the safety of the garage. But that's a little bit of a taste of what you can expect, I guess. And like I said, this is very, very tame, believe me, to what's actually out there in this game, especially with all of the other high intensity energy storms and stuff like that turned on. Go ahead and turn them on if you want, but you will need to be prepared to be chased off the map basically if you keep those on, because you can find yourself just looting away and having a good old time, and then suddenly you look at your map and you see this big angry red ball coming towards you. Something like what we just experienced, but way worse. And those high intensity storms will damage the map and damage you as well, and even basically kill you as well. So your character will basically die and then you'll need to respawn. So you really do need to be careful. Your character could die just by being exposed to those high energy storms. So the good news here though is that unlike a lot of other games, you've got access to a whole slew of gameplay options here. They've made these features, you can toggle them on and off. So you can adjust the gameplay to, like, if you're more of a casual gamer and you might just want to go around looting stuff like what I'm doing here, just looting some scrap metal and stuff to take back to the garage. You can achieve that by adjusting the gameplay settings like what I was saying before, with turning off some of those random storms that just come through. But yeah, what you just saw though was just a bit of a weather storm that wasn't too bad, okay? And I don't mind those kinds of things and other anomalies and things like that. But yeah, those other kind of storms, you'll know when you see them, because they really will ruin your day, and you'll have to get off the map like ASAP, basically. So depends how you want to play the game, really. Okay, so I'm just going through and looting a few other bits and pieces here. You can see that just taking a lot of the doors here, and also do the tires, the wheels as well, to get some rubber and more scrap metal and bits and pieces. Alright. Okay, done. Alright, let's head back to the vehicle, shall we? See there that the weather's kind of cleared up, so that's good. Yeah, everything is mostly stable again in this region. But yes, this is probably one of the more stable zones on the map, and it's easy to kind of get caught up in a false sense of security, but like I said, you can turn on a lot of the more instability storm options there and really make this a lot more challenging. There's a bit of a radio here as well with some awesome tunes on it, I must say, but unfortunately I can't play it during the video because of copyright reasons. But yes, feel free to check out all the different radio stations, and you'll hear a lot of cool songs on there, and you can also get that going within the workshop, within the garage as well. Okay, this is a little bit new. Haven't seen anything like this before. Looks like a bit of a building. Ooh, okay, looks like we've definitely got something going on there in front of us. Oh boy. Oh, every time I reverse, the hood flies up, so that might be a new quirk that we've just gained. Okay, something definitely isn't right here. It looks like reality is kind of morphing here. If we just trying to get close. Nope, nope, nope. Too much radiation. Okay, yeah. Something is definitely morphing the landscape. If you look closely, you can see these circular kind of invisible orbs. What on earth was that sound? Okay, I think we're getting out of here now. Let's yeah, let's go home, shall we? Back into the safety of the vehicle we go. Alright, stick her into drive, and let's make some tracks. Okay, so to get on out of here, we're going to need to capture a stable anchor, just one, because that's all we need for this map. And then once we do that, we will introduce a bit of instability. We've got 3/4 of fuel there, I can see. But yes, once we capture that anchor, well, we've got some steep hills there according to the old instrument panel. So yeah, if it was raining right now and muddy, those summer tires would really struggle to get us up that hill, for example. Okay, got some more anomalies nearby, some left rights. We'll just keep on trudging. But yes, once we get that stable anchor, we can open the portal up. Things will get a bit unstable, but it should be fine. And then we drive towards that portal, and then we'll be kind of teleported back towards our garage, and then we'll be home safe once again. So what I need to do now is just make our way to that yellow, one of those yellow dots. So basically, if I go ahead and go to just over here, we should be able to see one of those anchor points, stable anchors. We'll go ahead and get that into the vehicle, and then we'll be able to open the gateway portal and then leave this zone. Okay, so it's almost there. That little blue triangle is where I am at the moment. Almost onto that yellow stable anchor. There it is there. So if I keep going, it should be on our left, I think. Just keep on moving a little bit forward more, and then it should be on the left hand side. It's probably just behind this massive rock. Looks like, yeah, charge required 1. So I think that means just one of those anchors. We could get any of those yellow dots on the map, but I'm just going to go for this one here. Got a few anomalies on the map, but nothing too serious. There's some more tourists over there. Okay, now there's a bit of a process here. So what we need to do is yeah, those things always make me feel a bit weird, or it's a bit eerie. Okay, so before we pick this up, I'm actually, what we need to do is grab this thing and getting some radiation already. But once we pick this up, things will get a little bit hairy, and we need to quickly put this within our vehicle in the passenger seat. Okay, and that's going to charge up the arc, that's what it's called the arc, okay, that thing in the passenger seat, and then that will allow us to open the portal on the map. Okay, so let's just, what I like to do is just turn the vehicle around, because once we pick that orb up, things are going to get a little bit crazy. So I like to position the vehicle so that once I pick up that orb, that stable anchor, it's just one quick kind of bolt towards the passenger seat, and you can see the hood's just flying open there every time I reverse. So that's a new quirk we'll have to take care of when we get back to the garage. Right, so I like to do it this way. This is another tip that I've found as well. Open the passenger door like this. Okay, you got your arc right there, got your stable orb, pick it up. Yeah, things going a bit nuts. Okay, quick, got a left click to place it, and yep, you can see already got some new anomalies there. So that's just come up, that wasn't there before. A whole bunch of like transformer bulbs and energy lightning bolts and things like that. I didn't actually scan those ones. It'd be interesting to see what those are called actually, those transformer anomalies. You can see we're still stable, but now it says link gateway, see that? And now we're charged up with 1.1. So we've got 0.1 extra energy. So we can take that 0.1 back to the garage. But now let's focus on getting out of here. So we just need to pick a location, one of these two flashing diamonds, and that's gonna open up a portal in whichever one we choose. Okay, so if I left click now, okay, so normally this is when stuff really hits the fan. Okay, so drive. We've got to drive now. Thankfully, we don't have any of those gateway-induced storms that start to eat the map up right around now. But I won't lie, things are still getting a little bit unsettled here. But it should just be a mostly uneventful, hopefully, drive to the portal. And so as long as we keep things moving and we don't hit any anomalies and things like that that's going to flip us over or cause us damage, we'll just keep focusing on that light that's shining up to the sky. Okay, I'm doing about 40 miles an hour, it looks like. Almost 40. The old station wagon's struggling over this rough terrain. Okay, here we go. We've got to find this portal back to our garage. Well, we've got to get into that portal, into that. Look at that. Everything is just being sucked up into that matter portal. There's a huge amount of energy right there, folks, and we're driving right into it. This is our only way off this map. We have to get back to the garage, and this is our way through. This is our way home. Here we go. Close your eyes.
My, what's this? Are you learning a thing or two? My dear newbie, there's hope for you yet.
Right, so yeah, we're back. We made it somehow. And that was one of the more stable runs, I guess you could say. So yeah, this game, it can get really tense. Looks like I've left the headlights on actually. Let me go ahead and just sort this out, because I've got the vehicle too far forward. Come on. Sometimes there's that quirk again. Okay. Alright. That'll do, I think. Okay, not disconnected. Now we're not properly over the mechanics pit. It's just why are the headlights on? Why are the wipers on, sorry. Just a little bit of maneuvering to be done here. Never mind. Wipers off. Off. Wipers off. That's better. Headlights off. Okay. Because it does drain the battery having all these things on. So turn the engine off. Okay. Looks like I've got a storm outside. But yeah, we've managed to get a little bit of damage in that run. You can see there the right rear panel there is a bit more damaged than before. And here's the old friendly dumpster in the daylight, if you will. Yeah, so we've damaged this panel a little bit in that run. But yeah, to be honest with you, that run was really just a milk run. in the grand scheme of things. You can really get into some serious trouble in this game, as you could imagine, especially if you get your vehicle stuck somewhere in this weather, and then you're finding yourself having to kick the vehicle and try and get it back on track. I have actually done that before as well. Looks like we just got some chemicals this time from the old friendly dumpster. I'll just chuck that into the trunk. So this is pretty much the routine once you get back from a mission or a zone. Just transfer all the materials that you pretty much looted from the zone and back into your trunk in the garage. And now, ladies and gents, let's go ahead and sort these quirks out once and for all. Okay, so we've got 2 quirks as far as I understand. One is when we reverse the vehicle, the hood flies up. And the other one from before was when you close the trunk, the horn goes off. So we'll start with, let's do the hood first. So we'll go hood is opened. Car inverts direction. Let's see if that works. No, that didn't work. Bad guess. Okay, hood is open. Hood is open. Shifted toggles. Nope. Okay, that's a bad guess as well. Sometimes it's all in the way that you word this. So hood is opened. I think hood is open should be moved to the end. Let's do it this way. Car. Yeah, there we go. Car moves backwards, and then hood. Aha. Hood opens. There we go. That makes more sense. Let's try that. Yeah, see that? Correct diagnosis. Okay, so we can go ahead and look at the fixes now. Top right, it's highlighted, flashing. So car moves backwards, hood opens. Okay, let's do that. Okay, what you'll need to fix this, it needs a electronics kit and a mechanics kit. Now let's do the other quirk, which is the tailgate. When you open and close it, you see that the horn goes off. So let's diagnose that one. And I think I know how to do this now, because you need to go by what you do. What action happens first? You're not sounding, the horn is not being sounded first. So let's go, where's trunk? There we go. Trunk is closed. Car, no, horn honks. There we go. See, it's all in the way that you ordered these statements. Now let's try that. Yes, okay, done. Alright, so that's the second quirk diagnosed now as well. Here's what you need to fix it. Electrician's kit. Okay, so we know now that we need a mechanics kit and electrician's kit to fix these quirks. Okay, so this is where we go into the workbench, and we find that we don't have the electrician's kit available to craft. So this is where we go to the fabric station, and then obviously we need to unlock the blueprint for the electrician's kit, which will be somewhere in one of these categories somewhere. I'm not going to go through this now, but yeah, that gives you a bit of a taste anyway as to how you can craft, how you can get blueprints and then craft, how you can diagnose issues and quirks with your vehicle, and how you can repair panels, replace panels and things like that. We didn't get any flat tires that time, and I must say the overall condition of the vehicle from that run isn't too bad. But yeah, that's basically it, folks. This is, you can see I really haven't unlocked much of this map yet, but I just wanted to give you a quick taster as to what this game Pacific Drive is all about. Like I said, I'm not really a sci-fi buff, but I really am enjoying this game purely for the vehicle mechanics, and just the fact that you are surviving in a vehicle and driving around. That's what really is pulling me in. And just like the radio in your car, you've got this awesome stereo also in the garage, which I can't play unfortunately because of copyright reasons. But yes, having that radio playing whilst you work on your car in the dead of night is no less than fantastic. And if you haven't looked at the soundtrack for this game yet, I really recommend that you check it out, because it's got some rocking tracks on there as well. But yeah, I think we'll wrap it up here, folks. And I will say there's a lot of great voice acting in this game, as you would have heard already so far from Oppie and a few of the other guys. I'm not going to spoil anything. I'll let you kind of figure that out for yourselves around what the story is of the game. So this was just meant as a bit of a taster anyway, like I was saying before. And hopefully that's been a bit of an adventure so far for all of you to see in Sector G8 there. And yeah, I can see myself really getting engrossed in the rest of this game as well. And yeah, really wonder what the interior of the map holds, what kind of mysteries it holds, because yes, that storm's now passed, so that's good. But yes, that's basically it for this video at least. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, I really enjoy making these videos, and I hope you've enjoyed this video as well. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and share it around if you like as well. But yes, this video has gone on for a little bit longer than I wanted it to, but yeah, I guess just showing the bits and pieces of the game, it does take a bit of time as well. So yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this, and I shall catch you all in the next one.